Good afternoon and welcome to Nigerian Now on Echo Television, where we give you all the updates of what is happening in Nigeria. Presently, we have quite a number of issues that are actually happening presently in Nigeria, and we'd like you to be updated with all of that. So you can follow us live on Facebook and on YouTube, and then also drop your comment and views on any of these stories we will be bringing to the table this afternoon. My name is Seda Elisha, and I'll be doing the program together with Rachel Tansay. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Sarah.
All right, we have quite a lot on our table this afternoon. I will try as much as possible to touch all of them or a few of them before the end of the show. And we will be starting with the issue of the allegations coming from the EFCC, where they are linking the religious body to money laundering for terrorism. Quite a number of things on the minds of Nigerians. I mean, a lot of Nigerians just want to know, who are the religious body? Who is the church? Who is the mosque? Who is the traditional worshiper? Which body are actually involved in all of this? Because I mean, this will help or kind of take Nigerians back to time where we remember that of the UAE, sorry, the United Arab Emirates, where they gave us some names of people who are financing terrorism, and we've seen that till date Nigerians are yet to get anything. And then we're seeing an allegation again coming from the EFCC. A number of people are saying if EFCC is actually very serious about this link, because they're coming out to say that, I mean, this religious body have actually approached the court to stop them from actually interrogating the leaders of this religious body. So that is to say that EFCC actually have the names of those religious body, but then possibly for reasons best known to them, they have refused to make these names known to Nigerians. But I believe Nigerians just want to know. Richard, a number of things are happening in the country presently. We're still having kidnapping and adoption.
We are.
Being the, I mean, it seems to be the number one topic Nigerians are talking about presently right now. You cannot talk about 2 or 3 things without talking about the issue of insecurity in the country. Already we are seeing that, I mean, a number of people who have been kidnapped, especially that of the FCT that will be having issues, that of Ekiti, where we're seeing that some of these students are being bullied and being beaten by these their abductors who have actually abducted and are asking for over 100 million. And then we're having another that we're being kidnapped. I think it was last year, 28th of December, where we have a family, and then right now, what is even beating my mind, the fact that the bandits are demanding for over 290 million, cough syrup, blankets, drugs, quite a number of things. I wonder, okay, so you really need the blanket. We know that the weather is a little bit cold, so especially when you come to the FCT, it's not very far from Plateau State, so definitely in the forest it will be cool. But then a number of things Nigerians just want to know, when are we going to come to the end of this issue called insecurity? Because it doesn't look like this thing is leaving us soon, and I know Nigerians cannot just wait to a day where you can actually go to your farm, you can actually walk out of your house, I mean, by 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., even 12 a.m. I'm sure that, well, you know what, I can actually walk the street and know that nothing will happen to me. Until then, we still have to be talking about this issue of insecurity in Nigeria.
When it comes to this money laundering issues, sponsoring terrorists, and then I believe it's 2 situations in this whole money laundering issue. One is to sponsor and finance terrorism, and the other one is that there are religious organizations that are protecting money launderers. And of course, this is not out of place. We know how our religious organization function in the country, and whatever religion, be it the traditional religion, the Islamic religion, or Christianity, we know that money is being involved through offering, tithes, all kinds of forms and all of that. So it's not out of place if EFCC is coming out and saying, you know what, our religious organizations are protecting money launderers. Now, concerning financing and terrorism is where a lot of questions is, you know, a lot of questions need to be answered when it comes to what the AFCC is saying now. Is one thing, right, for this church to protect money launderers. We understand somebody has laundered a lot of money, transferring it to church, mosques, to whatever traditional organization they belong. We see their unions everywhere. They are meeting tribesmen, this and that. They transfer these funds in the name of one thing or another is understood. But when you are financing terrorism, it means you know this terrorist. It is third party involved. For hiding money launderer, it's just church, mosques, traditional body with the person whom is being protected. But now there is a chain and a flow of money. So we're looking at from where is this money going to this religious organization, and from this religious organization to the terrorist organizations and group. So now it automatically means that religious organizations in Nigeria know who these terrorists are. Apart from the financial crimes implication for it, it means now our military and armed forces, our security agencies should now start going to the church also to the church, to the mosques. I mean, say I want to capture let me just leave it at the umbrella of religious organization to interrogate them.
In fact, their work have been made more easy.
More easy is you now going, a synergy lions work together. You go to the EFCC and tell them, okay, who are these religious organizations? Because we need to know what terrorist group they are financing. How are they carrying this operation? How are they relating? And then the other third party that is involved, or the fourth, is the banking institution. There is no how money will be channeled to whatever kind of
bank accounts.
Exactly, without a banking institution involved.
In fact, Rachel, from my little understanding, I'm meant to understand that for every account, there is supposed to be an account manager that manages most of these accounts.
Especially when it comes to huge funds.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, just like you make mention, just to add it up to what you're saying. So that is to say that even the bank manager that's supposed to be managing this account, especially,
we
should
have
be held
so
responsible.
many people already knowing who are the terrorists in Nigeria, Sele. And then we tell out, and that's why I keep saying the government of Nigeria cannot sit down and tell us they don't know who these terrorists are, and they don't know how to go about finding them, busting them, and bringing an end to this. Because you can see now that not one or two, we're looking at 3, 3rd, 4th parties involved in terrorism in this country. And either way, we will be able to nab and find terrorists in this country. So with all of these revelations and news coming up, it's high time the government of Nigeria sits up and do the needful and bring an end to terrorism, because this shows that you know them. But it's either you're protecting them or you're letting them be, or you're showing the country that they're untouchable, they are protected and all of that, because these are not spirits. And we see that they are operating and new things are revealing. So we'll just keep telling the government of Nigeria, we know you can do better. You are not doing enough yet. And until you wake up and you do your 100 and above, before we'll start seeing that security has, come to the level where we can say we are safe in the country.
I just need answers, and I know Nigeria need answers. Who are or who is the person that actually gave the restraining order for EFCC to continue with the investigation, or to actually, call in those leaders? Rachel, we've been hearing this word, powerful Nigerians, Nigerians, and I come out and I'm just wondering who are they? Who are these powerful Nigerians? What is the government afraid of? Because I believe that the EFCC chairman actually needs the president to step into this and actually give him the go-ahead to interrogate whoever the person is.
Yeah.
Because if we're having a particular body or a particular sect hiding under the name of being religious and are actually sponsoring these people, then these people need to be brought to book. We keep repeating the fact that nobody in Nigeria is above the law, including the president himself. If not for the immunity that's been given to you at a particular position, that certain thing you're not being interrogated, but once you step down, I mean, there are boundaries to certain things. And I'm just hoping that, we'll not just stop here calling on the government to do the right thing, because I believe Nigerians are getting sick and tired
Yeah.
of this whole thing. We clearly remember, I mean, in Kaduna, when it was Kaduna State that was always under, attack, one kidnapping after another, terrorist Boko Haram asking for ransom, and then somehow you hear that, okay, one of the family member was being released to go source for funds, and then maybe when you went to your church or your mosque to say that, I mean, I need help, and then before you even get back to the people, you hear that we heard that so amount of money, and you wonder, how did they get to know?
Yeah.
That is to tell us they work with someone from within, because
Yes.
there is no how an attack can take place without an insider involved in most of this thing. So I am hoping that, there should be a proper investigation and probe whoever, whatever name, no matter how high and mighty you are, you need to be brought down to actually face the full wrath of the law. That is the only way we can actually have a total cleaning when it comes to us having a sane environment where everybody can actually, walk around freely without being afraid of anything. Now, still in relation to security, we're seeing that Zamfara State have actually taken the initiative to actually, launch their own state security outfit, and I'm really excited when I saw this, because we know that Zamfara State is one of those states that have been under siege. We hear that a number of people have been chased out of their communities. We've seen that to some extent it seems as if Zamfara is becoming a very nice place for these people to have a good time and then keep cashing out, and then we're wondering, and I'm happy because, I mean, while he was actually launching that outfit, we had a number of about 6 governors from the Northwest were actually present over there to show their own, support, and also to be happy. And they have very lovely outfit. I wish we could have the picture for Nigeria to say. I really love the outfit that, that the Zamfara are having. But I'm really happy because we remember where we saw I think from Monday down, we've been looking at the fact that a number of governors are saying the time for state security is now. We really need it, because with the way things are happening right now, they actually need to complement the security outfit we already have. So I'm really excited seeing the steps that Zamfara have taken, and I'm hoping to see in Borno State as well, Kaduna State as well, and many other states. I mean, Benue also, because we're seeing that, I mean, the bloodshed over there is another thing.
Plateau State is not
an exception as well. So I am hoping you can see how lovely that outfit look, and I hope as lovely as that outfit is looking, Rachel, they will actually walk. You remember we made mention of the fact that it's not about starting it, but the maintenance. That is where the question is.
Exactly. Said, I mean, and I like their other name, how in Hausa, Askarawan, Zamfara. And then when we started talking about state police in Sele, we said what we're looking forward to seeing from state governors is to cut their codes according to their sizes. And from the number of these personnel, you would know that the Zamfara state governor did that. We talked about if what you can start with is 1,000, go ahead with 1,000. If what you can start with is 5,000, go ahead with 5,000. Either way, with the way insecurity is, all these numbers we're calling is not going to be enough, but we are seeing that the state government is starting with about 2,645. Exactly. And it is a good number. And when you look at it, it's a good number to start, in as much as it's not much. By the time these people are down to local government and everywhere, you will find out that the number is few. And that is where I would like to hammer the most, because they are to complement other security bodies in the state. Now, this clearly stated that they're not independent, and it is very important because we often see abuse of power in the country in different level, even with the military, the police, people that are supposed to have power. And now let's not forget that these people are not as trained as our professional security agents, that is talking about our Navy, Air Force, military, and all of that. Of course not. Therefore, it is important to clearly state it that they are complementing. So when there is major operation in the state, it has to be together with the police of Zamfara State. We don't want to see independent activities going on. We don't want to see a situation where there will be abuse of power. It's all about them knowing their jurisdiction. And I believe that is also very important for states and its citizens to know, okay, what is their role. Compliment leaves it just big. It's important for us to know what and what can they be involved in. What and what can they be involved in? Because tomorrow we wouldn't want to see any state police operative, or as they call them in Zamfara, yes,
yeah, I think it's a community
guard.
protection
Exactly.
guards, yeah.
We don't want to start seeing them at checkpoints, because over the years certain things always lose their balance and place in Nigeria.
Their primary
responsibility and then are doing something else. We don't want to start seeing things like that. So let us, as people, let the people of Zamfara state or any other state know, okay, you know what, this is what these people are supposed to do, and this is what they're not supposed to do. And when you see them doing what they're not supposed to do, you'll be able to call the attention of the government or call the attention of the state police and tell them, okay, we are seeing these activities, and not because, whether we like it or not, Sele, we are in a system where corruption easily meddles with everything, no matter how little the start is. And I am just looking forward to seeing a corruption-free community police or state police. In that's the only way we can fight corruption. We're already complaining of how sabotaged it look our army is. We cannot come and start having the ones that are directly to the people that are put in place to complement or to help also doing the same thing. Then we will just be in the same place. So I'm just really hoping that this kind of modalities will be stated clearly, and it's not just for them to know, but also the people in Zamfara or states affected and are adopting that to know precisely.
Rachel, you really said quite a number of very great points here, and then some of the advice that is needed. I know, if just like you made mention, let them just know what they are supposed to do. We've had issues where we hear police and social clash, and you ask the question, I mean, don't the police know what his responsibilities are? Don't the soldier know where he is supposed to? Why do we have our military having a clash with the police, and then why do we have civil defense and the rest and all of those bodies that are there? But I'm happy you've rightly mentioned, and I hope that the government of Zamfara will take all of these points very, very seriously, because there is a need. We don't want to see where these people turn out to become menace again in the state, where we see that rather than helping to cushion the effect of all of this insecurity, we see them adding up to the problem there. So I'm hoping to hear that eventually with time we hear that there is no any form of taking over lands in Zamfara and the rest of it. The communities have been taken over. We're hoping that they will be restored back to the people.
Yes.
Because I keep saying, put together all the terrorists in Nigeria, Richard, I am very sure they're not even up to 100,000. But just because of the way they are very smart and the way they actually, you know, spread out, and then it makes it look as if they can actually overpower the government. But I believe they are not more than the government, and I believe that with all of this states taking up different outfits for their own state, what they see is very peculiar, because you are in the state, so you know how insecurity is actually dealing with you over there. So you have a perfect idea on how to actually tackle that. So we hope to see that being done. Now, you made mention of corruption. I think that will link us to the last thing hopefully we'll love to talk about. And the fact that here we're seeing that Reps is actually ordering fire service to refund back 1.48 billion naira back to the federal government. And that was the fund that was given to them during the COVID-19 pandemic. And then it was being said, I mean, they have been giving them invitations to come over, and they seem to be shunning those invitations. Now, Reps is actually telling them, you know what, you have to refund that. And then immediately I saw that story, Richard, I had to cast my mind back to that of the school feeding.
Exactly.
During the COVID, and I wonder, why did we have that huge amount of money while everybody was at home? Who were you feeding, and why do we have such an amount of money being given? Now we're seeing that as well for the fire service, and then here they're asking questions. And you just can't help but wonder, what exactly is the fire service protecting that they are refusing to honor the invitation? And why is it taking that long? We're talking about from 2020, and we're in 2024 presently. Why did it take this long for the Reps to bring up such an issue? We're having all of these issues that's supposed to have been tackled years back, and they're coming up now when we're supposed to be tackling other things. And then here it is. But I mean, I keep saying, I mean, a better time was there, but another better time is now to actually tackle issues such as this when it comes to corruption index in this country.
I love the way post COVID-19 happenings are just unveiling themselves, most especially when it comes to funding. We look at the humanitarian affairs minister, where she kind of course, COVID, we know that people were not in school, no pupil was going to school, and then the feeding program, we see that for now it's
Still under
ongoing.
investigation
Exactly.
and all of that.
Now, Stella, it's in this kind of situation, right, that I love playing the blame game. Now, apart from the fact that why is the federal service, federal fire service not coming to appear? They've been called more than 3 times and they haven't showed up. What are they trying to hide? Now, aside from that, my question is, now this also reveals, right, that so many fundings were given during COVID-19.
Exactly.
And Nigerians didn't see it. Remember how people got access into palliative by becoming hoodlums and burgling
Well, that was the
warehouses.
name they gave Nigerians for not giving them what was rightly.
What was?
Yes.
It's a palliative where in a pandemic and people are hungry and you are waiting and you're storing up these things. Now, the interesting part for me is now, what is the Federal Fire Service doing with COVID-19 funds?
Possibly, maybe if there's a fire outbreak, Richard, you could actually go and, because
Stella,
fire service do more than just quenching the fire or
they are
something.
emergency.
Of course.
Right? They are an emergency response unit.
Of course.
They do not deal directly
funds.
with the welfare of individuals. They are supposed to function as any other on a COVID. Police also are emergency response. Military also is emergency response when war is breaking out.
Exactly.
Do you understand? These are emergency response. That is when a need arises that houses don't burn every day. Do you understand? Of course, fire service is supposed to be when there's an accident and all of that. But let's not forget that a lot of fire accidents happen when people that are supposed to be occupying a place are not occupying it, or at night. And when something careless happens, when people are not there, that's when usually fire outbreak becomes very worse. Everybody was around in COVID. People were not traveling, so there
was kind of a shutdown. There was a lockdown, so nobody was.
There were no movement. Talking of saying, okay, there was a road accident, fire service needed to go. What were you giving these billions to fire service for during COVID-19? When you were supposed to be giving it to NEMA, when you're supposed to be giving it to NGOs, when people were supposed to be seeing all the aids that they're supposed. No wonder, Sele, they cannot account for that money, because in the first place, they are not even supposed to be allocated that much in the first place. So now the question is, who disbursed this much to them? What for? And why are they not able to account for it? I believe that that is where the problem is, Sele. If you give me 1 million and I don't need it, and my department doesn't need it, and I have no reason for it in the first place, I will spend it, and tomorrow you will call me and ask me, and I will definitely have no explanation to you concerning what I did with the money. Because when you look at it, they are supposed to be on standby, functioning as it should be, and not getting billions in to do what precisely. And this is where we need more. Don't just come and say you ask them to reform. What did you give them that money in the first place? And why is it that they cannot explain what they did for? Because I'm trying to wrap my head around. I know they are emergency. They are not welfare. Okay? So we can't say, okay, they were given to go and... No, what was all this huge sum of money given to them for? And this is what is... I'm trying to understand. And
Richard, it just exposed the laxity and also exposed the corruption. That is to say, it's either somebody used that ministry to actually siphon money that was supposed to go somewhere else. Just like you rightly mentioned, what were they supposed to be 1.48 billion naira? For what? Were you using it to fuel the cars? Maybe they should bring us some of the invoice that they use for that as well. Perhaps they should. And I keep wondering also, why are you only asking them to refund? I did not hear you asking the Humanitarian Affairs Ministry to refund the over 200 billion naira that she used for school feeding. So maybe this is still under interrogation. But regardless of what, I just hope that the fire service will be able to honor the invitation to answer the question, because I mean, this is just a query. It's a question and answer. You answer if you have the right answers. I mean, the government will not ask you to reform back. So I think right now, fingers will just be crossed. I know that this is far from being over, but then we hope to hear more answers, and we hope that this will be a revelation for more, revival in this whole system, talking about whether it's just the fire service or humanitarian affairs.
Yeah.
I just hope that this will be an eye-opener to whoever is involved, that they will actually face the full wrath of the law if they don't
Yes.
return back the money. Well, thank you so much,
You're
Rachel,
welcome,
for doing
Sally.
this with me. And thank you to our viewers for keeping a date with us on Nigeria Now. Until we come tomorrow, do have a blessed day ahead.